Hi, I'm Greg, the artist behind the immersive illustration you just watched, and I'm part of a creative consultancy called Urban Scale Interventions. And we were approached by the PGA Tour and DP World Tour to create an art piece centered around the story and the evolution of the game of golf in the lead up to the Genesis Scottish Open. So loads of ideas were thrown around for this project, but we landed on the retelling of the history of golf, how it's grown throughout the ages and has been subject to things such as technological innovation and global expansion. We wanted to include as many cultural figures and moments in the sport that we could, even dating back to the likes of Mary Queen of Scots, who allegedly was one of the first public figures to have been recorded playing golf, which is something I didn't know. Going through to the likes of Arnold Palmer, who was prominent in the era of television and large-scale tournaments, all the way through to the modern players that pretty much everyone in the world knows, such as Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, who have been front and center in today's media. The fact that we had access as well to golf historians and any archival information and materials that we needed along the way was super helpful in understanding every element that needed to go into this illustration. When it came to creating the artwork, I started in the same way that I start every project, which is by laying out everything that we've got, all the information that we've gathered, and then loosely storyboarding out the scenes in super quick and super simple doodles, effectively. At this stage, it didn't really have to be a masterpiece by any means. It was really just to get the point across. And then it was something that I felt like I could give to the client, and they could look and go, "Oh yeah, we kind of see where that's going." And then it was also a matter of figuring out how one scene would lead to the next, because this is a drawing which effectively goes from one drawing to the next. It's not viewed separately. Had to figure out those transition moments and how one scene kind of elegantly, or at least some way, led to the next one logically and narratively speaking. So none of this is possible really without the right tools. I created the illustration entirely on the iPad and then used two apps to create the drawings. So the first one was called Endless Paper, which is effectively an infinite drawing tool. And I used that to sketch out the storyboard and composite the final illustrations. And then the actual detailed drawing was done using Procreate. And this is an excellent tool for painting and drawing. It comes with loads of different brushes, and you can use as many techniques as you really want to create works of art. And then in my case, I used it to emulate real world pen and ink, which is very in keep with my style. So yeah, I used that to create all the detailed illustrations and then would bring that into Endless Paper. But every project has its challenges along the way, not that there were really many with this one. However, we had a 3-week window, or just shy of 3 weeks, to get the artwork done. So that's from the initial conversations all the way to the final film thing. So to make sure that it was done succinctly, we regularly reviewed the storyboard and then the illustrations as they were progressing, and then the mock filming, so that when it came to delivering the final film, we were pretty, knew that we'd be pretty happy with the content. So there's so much scope to what this project could have been due to the rich history of golf. So we had to be selective and also conscious of the fact that we wanted the filming to be like 1 minute in length. So we were asking ourselves, like, what did we want to include? Like, what were the important things to include? How many chapters did we think it would take up? And then ultimately, could this all be done within 1 minute? And so all in all, there were 30 illustrations that made up the immersive artwork. All different sizes and all connecting from one to the next. So it was a real challenge to make sure that it felt like there was some sort of narrative as you went from one drawing to the next. Ultimately, we're all really happy with the artwork, and it was really fun, personally, for me to illustrate, and of course a brilliant opportunity to collaborate with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. So yeah, that's how I did it, and thank you for watching and listening.